Craig Woodward joins us now, and he's got a brand new album out, and he is Looking for Love. Great title to the album, and it's a great single, Craig, but is it based on factual events?
Yes, it is actually. It's a funny story, that one. Back in the earlier days, in my 20s, I was working for the New South Wales Police Service. I was in the car with one of my colleagues at the time. She was telling me, Craig, I just can't seem to find the right one. I said, April, I've known you for 12 months, and from my observations, you're clearly just looking for love in all the wrong places. And she nearly wet her pants and said, that's hilarious. I said, well, I'll write a song about it. So that was probably 15 years ago, or close to 13, 14 years ago. Took a while. I've always played this at gigs, but I've never recorded it professionally, but it's on the new album that'll be released this year.
So what was the motivation to take it from being that song that gets played at the gigs to, putting on the vinyl, so to speak, and putting out in the world?
It was just a reaction. I just used to put it out and randomly and just say, look, this is a new song I've sort of written. And I always have people come up and just say, oh, that's a really good song. I really love that one. So when you do that and you test the water at a live gig, you know that it's going to get legs when it gets on the album.
How hard was it for you, Craig Woodward, to leave the steady job, a career as a policeman, and then move into a bit of an unknown territory, if you like, as a full-time musician?
There'd definitely be more than one or two of the police probably saying you're just mad. You're 22, you've done your whole training, 2 years of training to get in, and you're going to do what? To become a singer? I said, well, I've always been of the believer, if you're not happy in what you're doing with your job and you've got something else that you can pursue, then you should always just go and do it. And that's what I've done. I sort of left school, did a printing apprenticeship, then went straight into the police for 5 years. And then got to 5 years and I was at a crossroads and I thought, well, it's time to go now. I was sort of 25, 26. If I'm going to go, I've got to go now, And I haven't looked back. And now I run a successful music studio in the Sutherland Shire called Menai Music. We work there Monday to Saturday. We've got about 250 students at last count. So I've got 7 staff that work for me, and I've built that up over 14 years. Alongside of my sort of playing and touring commitments with music. So I make my money out of music now, so that's good.
And from all reports through COVID, classes and so forth were thriving. Tell us about the innovation you did there.
We panicked like everyone, sort of March last year. We thought all this effort and time we put in, and some parents were so scared to even leave their house, let alone bring the kids into a studio. So we immediately just went and looked straight into the Zoom possibility. And for probably about half a term, we provided all of our students, it went to about 100% of the students, all online. So I bought cameras for all of the studios. We've all got computers in each studio for what we use for YouTube and listening and streaming to music. So it's just a case of getting our head around making sure that the internet connection was strong and the parents had that set up so when we Zoom into their lounge room, they've got the instrument ready to go or the guitar's tuned, so to speak. It's not like face-to-face. I don't want to go back there. I'm glad we're back to face-to-face and we've sort of got through the worst of it from what we can tell. But we have that as an option.
All right, seeing though it's only you and I, no one else is listening, tell me the truth. Yeah. If I'm there practicing my scales in on Zoom, are you going to mute me?
It's our job to listen to guitarists of all strengths and quality. And sometimes you probably want to tell your mum to get out of a nightie in the background, at least not sit in the line of the camera. They got the it's middle of winter and they got the robe on from just getting out of the shower, and they got their hair all up in it. We see some funny moments, but not too many. Most people
I'm coming to the Menai Music bloopers reel at the Christmas party. I reckon it's going to be an absolute doozy.
Oh yeah, it'll be fun. It's good fun. It's all good.
Well, back to Craig Woodward, the artist. Of course, the album's out now, Looking for Love. If people want to find out more about what you're doing, when you might be in their neck of the woods, what's the best way for them to stay in touch with you?
The Instagram and Facebook pages, they're just Craig Woodward Official. And I direct all my fans and new fans to my Spotify artist page. Spotify, as you know, is the king of streaming, but it's also very good for artists because I'm doing a show with Hayley Jensen in a couple of weeks at Cronulla. And you can put your dates up. You can even get a merch side of it's almost like a website. And they can get a good feel about what my style of modern country rock is.
Well, we're going to play the single now. And April, if you're listening, this one's for you. It's Looking for Love and
right.
Craig Woodward.